Hi, my name is Christopher Makos, and this is Phillip Romero sitting next to me. When I met Phillip years ago, I never knew what Phillip was up to. But in the last few years, I found out that he was working on this book called Andy Warhol's Brain. And I thought, as somebody that has done so much photography on Andy Warhol and the world around Andy Warhol, that this particular take on Andy, for me, was like absolutely unique, unusual, peculiar. I thought, wow, somebody is actually going to delve into Andy's brain, which for me was like, wow, I've delved into almost everything about Andy Warhol, but never his brain.
Right.
And then you said, I'm going to do this book. And I thought, wow, this is going to be fun. And as soon as I heard that about this book, I immediately thought, I'm in. And anybody I speak to is going to be in, because it is an idea and a subject that has not been talked about, discussed. And although it is primarily focused on Andy Warhol, the book talks about the art and how artists in general deal with the world around them and how that affects their art and everything about what they do. And then I pulled together a team that put the book together. And it's quite an international book because Pablo, who's in Spain, worked on the look of the book. Marta helped out with all the words in the book. And of course, you're the author, so it all leads back to you. But you had our team fully behind you and everything that we did. So tell me a snapshot of what this is.
Let me tell you where this thing started. We all know how tragic a day it was when Andy died. I was working on a book called The Art Imperative, and Andy had agreed to interview me for The Art Imperative, which was about child development and who becomes artists and so forth. And so I never got to make that interview. I just put all of that aside for many years, and when the book, The Life and Death of Andy Warhol, Victor Bachris, I read that, with great intensity, and every story, I was reading it from a developmental psychiatric point of view. Oh my God, his stress would have been this. Oh my God, his mother had PTSD from the war. And I just kept reading it from a developmental scientific point of view. And it started to generate an idea, I should write a book about Andy Warhol's brain from cradle to grave. So that's where the idea started. I cooked it for 20 years before I actually was able to figure out how to do it. And during that time, my interest in creativity, and having been an artist since I was a little kid, people always said, oh, Phil, you're so creative. I said, what does that mean? I don't think I'm creative. So my question was, what is creativity? Who's got it? Who doesn't? What is it? So I delved into the science of creativity and development and so forth with kids and teenagers. Every child makes art in the beginning. Some of us keep doing it forever. The book that I was doing, The Art Imperative, was from my experience as an artist. I have to make art. I can't help it. I just have to do it. And in a conversation with Andy about this Art Imperative book, I said, look, I'd like to interview you for it. And it's called The Art Imperative. He says, oh, I've got that. If I don't make art, I don't know what I would do. And I've talked to so many artists who say exactly the same thing, that making art is just like their nature. They just do it, and how they do it is their own unique way. So this book is really about creative intelligence. It's a human characteristic. But Andy, when you look at his life, had an extraordinary creative intelligence. If there was a scale like IQ or EQ, Andy would be off the charts in creative intelligence, because not only could he see and draw and imagine, but he went beyond that. His creativity infected everything he did, from being a businessman and an artist in the 50s, to his invention of social media, to his jumping from one domain to another. And you were with him for so much of that time. So my curiosity with us is to really explore your experience in what I call in the book shared creative intelligence, where two artists bring their individual private creativity together and they generate something beyond both of them that neither of them could make alone, but together it produces something new.